Hi all, I am making this video to review the HP DeskJet InkJet Voltage 4278 printers and comparing it one of its very old and lower end models, HP DeskJet InkJet Voltage 2135. Coming to the first thing, this one, the old one, is 7.5 years old and it costed me 3000 rupees at that point of time on Amazon. This new one is just around 4-5 days old and it costed me 6800 rupees on Amazon. The primary differences between these two: this one comes with Wi-Fi, this one does not have Wi-Fi, it's only USB. This also has USB ability, this also has USB ability. By the way, actually the USB standard for both of them is same. It's USB 2.0 with a cable that they provide, which is type B on this end and type A for this one, this side, the one that connects to your PC. The thing that this has is an ADF. This does not have an ADF, it's a normal flatbed scanner. Okay, this also has a flatbed scanner, this also has an ADF. Okay, coming to the print specifications, the maximum print DPI of this is 2100 DPI, the same as this. This also has a max of 2100 DPI. The maximum scan is 1200 DPI on this. The maximum scan clarity is also 1200 DPI on this. It's the same. There is no difference at all. Coming to the printing and the scanning abilities or the specs of both of them, it is the same. The differences are, this has Wi-Fi and ADF, that does not have Wi-Fi and ADF. Its print speed is slightly low, its print speed is slightly faster, not by a whole lot. On paper it may claim more, but in real life, because these are intended for home only or for not any bigger things, so in real life it does not really matter. It's not blazingly fast like the ones that you go to a hospital and they give you a bill, which are generally all commercial applications generally use laser jet printers, which are very fast. This is not that fast, but for home purpose it doesn't really matter, because you just give print and you leave it, it just print out after some time. It's like you give a print for 10 papers or 20 papers and then it just works after some time, right? So for home purpose this is perfectly fine, right? And so from hardware's end of things, as I see from the internal circuitry, it doesn't seem like for internal things, it doesn't seem like HP has done a lot of difference from 7 years. It's just that the specs and everything, the way it works is more or less the same. You can actually see everything is same. It's a say color copy, a black and white copy, it's a cancel button, it's a paper feed button, it's the same cancel, paper feed, black and white copy, monochrome copy, color copy. These are two buttons. They are colors buttons, which color coded indicators which show if the tricolor cartridge, the color cartridge is running low, or if the black and white black ink cartridge is running low. Is the same here as well. You have two indicators, one for color and one for black ink cartridges, and this is just a status display which will show you if the Wi-Fi is connected, if the printer is fine, the ink levels of both color and color cartridge and the black ink cartridge. Coming to the way the printer itself looks and the way it functions, it's very traditional HP. For printing, you open this, you open this, in this you open this, you open this. For feeding papers, you open this, you open this here. For feeding papers, it is the same here. You open this and you pull this out here. Since this has an ADF, I'll show you how it looks with the ADF closed. Okay, this is how it looks. You open this and then you pull this small plastic thingy so that it can hold papers. The side you want to get scanned, You put it face up, and this is how it works. For all normal day-to-day functions, this is perfectly fine, no issues. So this is a DeskJet ink advantage printer, meaning it comes with color cartridges. This is not an ink tank printer. So why did I buy this after when I already had the old printer? My primary reason was, or my primary use case was, the ability to have an ADF, because I scan a lot of documents very regularly. I don't print a lot of documents very regularly. I print once or twice in a week at max, but I scan a lot of documents very regularly. And when I do have to scan, I have to scan a lot of them, around 200, 300 at a point of time. And last week I had to spend around till 5 in the morning scanning 200 pages, one after the other on the flatbed of the old one, feeding one after the other, and it was very taxing. So I decided, okay, let me get an ADF scanner. An ADF scanner which is standalone on Amazon, and which actually those work very fast, they scan very fast. Alone is around 17,000 rupees, not 7,000, sorry, 17,000 rupees. So this comes at 6,800 rupees, but the scanning speed is very slow. So I thought, okay, why not go for this? But then after going for this, then I saw that probably there were a few things that I should have been knowledgeable about before going for this. Number one, this might seem like any other large ADF feeder or ADF feeder scanner, like the ones that you have in your office, this big large boxish printers and scanners. They have a large ADF head, and that head can actually scan blazingly fast. This is not like that. Those things have a dedicated scanner in this head itself. This one doesn't work like that. This uses the same flatbed scanner. How it works, I'll show you. It picks the documents from this end. Okay. You see, there is a small contraption here, mechanical contraption. There are two rollers, roller 1 and roller 2. They pull the paper from this end, and then they actually feed it like this, and then the paper gets scanned with this flatbed scanner head, which is currently here. Its resting position is normally at the end of this here. Currently it is here. It's expecting paper, but there is none. And then the paper goes from here. It gets scanned, and then it gets forced out of here via this. There is this small which actually makes sure the paper goes up, and then it ends up here. And then when it comes out of here. Okay. So the ADF is, in very proper engineering term, it's purely an ADF. It's a feeder. It's not a scanner. The scanner is still the flatbed scanner. Okay. So coming to the specs, as I said, this flatbed scanner has the same clarity specs as that one. Yes, it is true. But when you are using the ADF, it goes a notch down. When you are using the ADF, the maximum DPI that it supports is only 300, not more than that. You can scan at 120, 75, 300, and max is 300, and not more than that. So that is a downside. I don't think anybody has specifically mentioned that anywhere, which was something I hope that I would have known before. But okay, that's fine. And second thing is that, which I see as a huge problem from hardware standpoint, is that, you see, the rolling of these is dependent on this small mechanical contraption, this thing which actually rotates. And this one is actually dependent on this small one which spins. So this actually goes and snugly fits into this, and that rotates it, and then the ADF rotates, and then the paper goes in. So you have to be very careful when you are closing the door, that you are not in a hurry and you don't close it very brashly. You have to be careful, because if for whatever reason if that breaks, then your ADF is screwed. Maybe the print scanner flathead is also screwed. I don't know at that point, but the ADF for sure is screwed. Okay, so you have to be very smooth and careful. This is not like that. We open it, close it, blah blah blah, no issues, no problems at all. It will just close. Coming to this, are there any major differences in design? Actually, there are not. The only difference I see here is that the actual positioning of the paper here is from here, that is on the right bottom side corner. The only problem is here is that it's not really mechanical, it's just like user friendliness. Let us say you just put a paper here. This is currently has been here for some time, so it's completely flat. But let's say you just put a paper here, you're in a hurry and you fastly close it. There's a small draft of air and the paper can slightly move. Right? Because the first time this is completely flat paper, but if it is slightly uneven, it can slightly move like this, and then you get a crooked image. You will think, oh, why is this image coming out crooked? Then it will take some time when you realize, okay, it's not really the image is crooked, but because you closed it very fast. Here, the difference is that the actual fitting position of the paper is here on the top left. So even if there is a draft of air, it cannot go anywhere else. It has to fit there only. And actually, the way they have shown it is very nicely. They have put small rounded edges on all other three. So you would know that it would not actually fit here. It has to fit there only intuitively. So that I think is a very nice small attention to detail, which is good. But this mechanical thing comes back to my mind every time. Okay, now closing this gently. Coming to, this is all about the hardware. Okay, the hardware is well and fine. It uses same again ink cartridge. The way to open the ink cartridge is same as here. You open this thing, that it is not on, the ink cartridges will come in line. You can remove them and you can refill or take new ones or put them back. It's the same here. You open this, the ink cartridges will come in middle, then you can remove them and then put them back or whatever you want to do, and then you close it back and then it will once again go and come back to action. Okay, everything is fine. It's connected to Wi-Fi by this point. At this point, all this is fine. Sorry, forget about the small exclamation mark here, because currently my Wi-Fi has lost internet, so it's screaming about that. That's nothing to be worried about. So from hardware point of view, there's not a lot of difference. Same specs, scanning ability wise or printing ability wise. The only difference is the ADF and the Wi-Fi are the only two things. Coming to one more thing about the ADF. You can put multiple papers here. You don't have to keep hitting scan every time. It will automatically scan all the papers and it will give you out. One more thing, an important thing people generally forget is, what if I am having a bunch of papers and a small receipt or something in between? Will that get stuck? Will it be able to actually do that and go past that? It is able to do that. Some of other printers cannot do that. They expect the paper to be of a certain size. Actually, this also expects the same. It actually scans it as a full A4 size paper. It actually rolls the paper out, and for the rest of that A4 size, it won't have anything else in there. So it won't be complaining about anything. It won't have anything else in it. But rest of the paper will come out as white. It will just like, for the big one in my office, actually it understands that, okay, this is a different size paper. Each one it understands. And it says that, okay, this is not A4, this is A4, this is not A4, this is A4, but we'll scan all of them. We don't require so much amount of detail. This is fine for us. Okay, for normal home usage, this is well and fine. But one thing to understand is that if the paper is not full A4, because it is using these rollers, and to me sometimes it looks like both these rollers are not, this is complete mechanical contraction, they are not completely aligned, it seems. They are not rolling at the same speeds. So if you put a half paper, it might actually go in like this, but when it's going in, it slowly gradually becomes skewed from here. If you put it like this, it might actually, after some time, it might become skewed like this while getting fed, because it's only touching one roller or not the other, or so on and so forth, and then so it doesn't completely go in. I would have really preferred it they had made it one single giant roller, so that you don't have any issues like that. But yeah, it will come out crooked if you don't have a full A4 size paper. Now I will show you in live like how is the scanning speed of this. Okay, just give me a moment. This printer is online, and let me show you the HP Smart software. Then once you see, I'll let you know how I feel about it. Now you see 6 out of 7 printers. Actually, I own only 2 printers. One is old one. This new one is a new one. Let me show you. Add set up a printer. HP DeskJet 2400 is on. 2400 series is online. Okay, this is showing that it is offline. Maybe because my internet is off, it is showing like that. Generally it should not be offline, but for each printer, it, for whatever reason, it just makes 2-3 entries in this software. In Windows you won't see them, just in this software you will see them. By the way, why is it like that? I don't really know. And why do I need even internet to show it in my local WAN also is local LAN also is, I don't really know. But yeah, for whatever reason, yeah, this is this, right? Now let me just scan. I have 10 papers preloaded here. Okay, it says I have to connect it to internet. If I cannot connect it to internet, this HP Smart software will not work, which is another piece of crap. Coming to this HP Smart software, it is, I don't know how a company like HP managed to make a software which is so shitty in nature. Okay, this is a very new one, right? When I first set it up, it said you have a new firmware, do you want to install? I said yes. Then it just was like that. I don't know whether it is installing, whether it has completed, is my product fine, is the firmware install complete, when can I start using it? No intimation, nothing. I just had to leave it for a couple of hours and then just hope that everything worked. I think it worked. I don't know to this date whether that firmware update worked or not. Okay, I don't really know to this date. Second of all, for this software to run, it needs to be connected to internet. God knows why. I have no idea. The setting up of Wi-Fi on this has to be done using this. I had to try 6 times. 5 times it failed. It just hung up. There was no reason. It just like this printer is not saying anything, and this software is just hung. I had to retry. On the 6th attempt, it succeeded. First 5 attempts, it failed. What was happening? No error message, nothing. It doesn't say anything. That's why I said it's a very bad piece of software. You scan anything using this, the scan image will come out crooked. There are some auto AI enhancement, all that shit that is enabled by default. You disable all of them also. Still the paper comes out as tilted. It doesn't come out like perfectly scanned. Why? I have no idea. And that is not the, you can think, okay, maybe it's some issue with the new one. No, the old one also, it's the same. It's the same. Now HP also understands this. So they provide a separate scan assistant software. See, HP Scan Assist. If I just rename to 4278 because I have 2, just to understand that, okay, that I don't confuse between the 2, I just renamed that shortcut as HP 4278. Now see, I will open this. If I scan using this, it somewhat appears, it comes out better. At least the pages are not crooked. Okay. Now see, document feeder if loaded, A4 size, one-sided, blah, 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 blah. Generally, this is by default, it is letter. This is a setting a lot of people have asked me about previously. I have told them the default page size is not controlled from here. The default page size, if you want it to default to A4 in every program, you have to do it from your printer properties. And then you can actually set it to this. And this is what I was telling you, the max resolution if you are using the document feeder is only 300. You cannot go beyond it. If you are using the flatbed, then it will actually go up. Actually, it is only 1200. Sorry, I said 2100. It is not even 2100. It's 1200 only. Okay. Document feeder. Now let me use this and just like once again show you the how much time it takes. See, it's saying preparing to scan, scanning. Please be patient. This is 10 papers. This is the speed. This is real life scanning, and this is not some specs. So this is what we will actually get. It has scanned 2 pages. Third one, I might fast forward this in the actual video so that you know it doesn't really. Oh, sorry, I think I have put only 5 papers, not even 10, so that it won't take so much amount of time. Sorry, my bad, I forgot. So it is now done, complete. It's still looking if any paper loads, nothing. It's completed. So you saw it takes its own sweet amount of time. And you can see here that this paper is not crooked, it's not tilted. That happens only if you use this software. If you use the HP smart software, all of this will come tilted. Don't ask me why. I have stopped using that software altogether. But the first time I need to use it because I have to set up the Wi-Fi options on this. So yeah. So this is a lot to speak about this particular printer scanner. So when you come to see, the final verdict is this is 3000, this is 6800 with a ADF Wi-Fi, the rest of the specs being exactly the same. Is it worth it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you are looking for a printer and if you print a lot, go for an ink tank printer. I don't want an ink tank printer because if you don't use ink tank printers for some time, then actually the print head gets clogged. Then it's a very big pain to actually get them unclogged. If you don't know how to do it properly, you have to go to the service center. So it's a much bigger pain. Because these uses cartridges, ink cartridges, and actually these ink cartridges come with their own print heads. So if for whatever reason, if you have not used it for some 5-6 months and if the printer is not working, actually I did that with my old one once. I didn't have to use it for 6 months or so, and then actually the first print didn't come out properly. Then I had to just print out a couple of papers or their own calibration paper, and then it worked out properly. So HP ink cartridges in that sense are good. I'm being honest, though they come very, means like they are very costly. Like 860 rupees is what Indian rupees is the price of either the color or the black ink cartridge. So if you have to replace both of them, it costs you 1600 rupees. This uses HP 682 cartridge, that uses HP 680 cartridge. The price for whatever reason is the same for both of them. They don't make any money, they say, on the actually the printers. They make the money on the cartridges. But looking at this printer itself, it looks like they're making money on the printer as well. Because see, all that it gives you is a mechanical contraption for an ADF and Wi-Fi. And for both of these, they are that's more than 3,800 rupees than the older one. And the software, as I told you, is a piece of junk. It does not work 99% of the time. There are times when the software did not work and I used Windows default scanner app to actually scan. Windows scanner and fax. There is some default thing that comes with Windows. I used it and that worked actually, but this did not work. So hardware wise, this is fine for my requirement. Like my primary requirement was an ADF, so that is solved. But my main concern is that the ADF is working on a mechanical contraption. It is the flatbed is in some way linked to its base using some mechanical thingy at the left bottom end. And if that thingy breaks, I am screwed. That's my real, you know, fear in this thing. And looking at this and looking at that, this mechanical contraption at Wi-Fi costs 3,800 rupees. I think it's a huge waste of money. But there is no other competitor in this price range which offers an ADF actually. The next best thing is 17,000 rupees again of HP. It's a HP ink tank printer. If you don't want HP, the next best thing is from Brother, which is 19,800 rupees. It's an ink tank printer which has a full duplex printing. By the way, as I said, I forgot to mention, this doesn't have full duplex printing. This also doesn't have full duplex printing. It's manual duplex, which means it will just wait for you to flip the paper and load back for duplex printing. Duplex printing, by the way, is two-sided printing. All the others one which are like 17,000 or 20,000, they have full duplex printing that you don't have to do anything. I don't think anything with this cartridge, ink advantage, like ink DeskJet or like ink cartridge ones, they come with duplex printing for whatever. I think mechanically should be possible to do it, but for whatever reason they don't come with duplex printing. Only ink tank printers come with duplex printing. But yeah, for whatever, this doesn't have duplex printing. This also doesn't have duplex printing. So given only these two advantages of ADF and Wi-Fi, I think it's a lot of money that they are asking. And given that their support and their software is pretty bad, very, very bad, not pretty bad, it's very, very bad, very bad. Means initially I thought I would have to return the printer, but actually, you cannot return this printer if once you buy. You have to sort of like live with it. Give it only to HP support. And I instantly regretted it. Also, there was one thing as a closing remark, let me tell you. The first time it default prints the calibration one, which you have to take and just put it on the flatbed and then hit scan, it will shows SS itself saying that okay, its scanner, its printer, everything is well and fine, everything is working fine. That was all well and fine. Just for the first time when I tried to actually test out whether it's printing properly or not, I printed a one-page document, A4 size document. For whatever reason, it printed one half on one paper and the other half on the next paper. So one half of the paper was there, page was there, rest of the paper was empty. In the second paper, the top half was empty and the rest of the page got printed there. I have never seen that happen with any other printer. Because I've used multiple other printers in my office or outside or my friend's place and so on. Even this old one, right? If it fails to print for whatever reason and it says that okay, I was unable to print, it prints half paper and let's say if the ink was clogged or whatever, it was not able to print, then it will retry the whole document on the second paper again, the whole thing. Not just half of the paper. What sense does it make just to print half? But for whatever reason, that thing printed half and half, which I have never seen that. And also that happened only once. So I hope it doesn't happen again. The second thing was, it actually, for the second time I started using the ADF started giving a hardware error. It said that okay, you disconnect the power supply, connect it again and retry, and if it doesn't work, contact support. And that got me pretty shit scared. Like okay, I have just got this printer. If the ADF is bad, that's the whole thing for which I got this. And if that is bad, then my 6,800 rupees are wasted. But then after I printed this scan assistant copy, this software of theirs, I don't know what it did. It started working, and from then on, I have not really touched it. Only when I really need to scan, I scan it. I don't indulge in any multimedia for this because, like, if it breaks, I'm screwed. When the real workload comes, I use it. If not, because there are ink cartridges left in this, so I'm just using them for the time being. Once it dries out, I'm gonna throw this out. Not throw this out, keep it as a backup or donate it to some people. Like, I don't think anybody was gonna take it as a donation. I'm happy, thinking too much, but like, I don't think anybody is going to afford ink cartridges for this. So yeah. Um, so I think I'll just junk that and I'll just keep this. And if this gets really broken, then I'll throw this in. Finally buy the brother one. Actually, I did actually order the brother printer on like Amazon, the 19,800 one. I think it was TW2 800 200 some model, I don't remember. But like, it didn't get delivered. It said delivered on my app, but it didn't get delivered. I had a little fight with the Amazon customer support, and then they resolved it and they refunded me my money. Then I thought, okay, why am I going for 19,800 rupees thing? Because my printing requirements are pretty low, and I primarily require an ADF. But the standalone ADF on Amazon costs 17,000 rupees actually, but they are blazingly fast. The fastness is not really a requirement for me. It's just like automatic document feeding is the only thing I need, so that I don't have to wake up till 5 in the morning scanning 200 documents. So I thought this is a good, middle break point. That is true for this. This is very good for middle break point. But its consistency, or the way it breaks, the software just stops working, the hardware gives errors. That's where this thing really bugs me. And I think this might continue. Sorry, this was very long review. I'm very sorry for that. Like, but like, if you like this, I hope it helps you.